The Eternal Champion. The Eternal Champion, contextually known as Talon, is the protagonist and player character of The Elder Scrolls Arena. The Eternal Champion was the mysterious hero who ended the Imperial Simulacrum. After Jagar Tharn usurped the throne, imprisoned Emperor Uriel Septim VII and General Warhaft in Oblivion, and murdered Rhea Silmain, the champion was left to die in the Imperial dungeons. Yet guided by Silmain's spirit, they escaped and began the long quest to reassemble the shattered Staff of Chaos. Over nearly a decade, the champion traveled across Tamriel, through Fang Lair, Labyrinthian, the Crystal Tower, and even Red Mountain, retrieving each piece of the staff. With covert help from Queen Baranziah and King Edwire, they ultimately confronted Tharn beneath the Imperial Palace, restored the staff's power, and destroyed him, freeing the true Emperor. Though rumored to be named Talon, the champion's identity remains debated. Cultures across Tamriel claim different origins. Some say they were a Redguard knight, others a Khajiit assassin, or even a vampire from another realm. To this day, the Eternal Champion is revered by Imperial loyalists and remembered as one of the greatest heroes in Tamriel's history, an unknown warrior who saved an empire. The Agent. The Agent is the unsung hero of The Elder Scrolls II Daggerfall. Sent by Emperor Uriel Septim VII to the Iliac Bay, their mission was simple: lay a ghost to rest and recover a lost letter. But what they uncovered was a tangled web of royal betrayal, necromancy, and ancient Dwemer secrets. At the heart of it all was the Mantella, the power source of Numidium, an ancient godlike golem. In the game's finale, the agent chooses which faction receives the Mantella, seemingly deciding the fate of the entire region. But in canon, something stranger happened. All choices became true. This paradox, known as the Warp in the West, reshaped the Iliac Bay overnight. Entire kingdoms rose and fell simultaneously, and political borders redrew themselves with impossible precision. It was as if time had bent itself around the agent's actions. Though their name and race are lost to history, the agent's legacy lives on. They didn't just end a haunting or fulfill a royal request. They altered the fabric of time itself. Nerevarine. The Nerevarine is the prophesied reincarnation of Indoril Nerevar, the legendary Chimer hero who once united the people of Morrowind. According to prophecy, the Nerevarine would return to fulfill an ancient destiny, to defeat the corrupt tribunal gods and end the blight consuming the land. In The Elder Scrolls III, Morrowind, the player takes on the role of the Nerevarine, navigating the complex politics of the Dunmer and uniting disparate factions. They confront Dagoth-Ur, a malevolent force spreading disease and corruption through the heart of Lorkhan. The Nerevarines' journey culminates in the defeat of Dagoth-Ur and the Tribunal, restoring balance to Morrowind and fulfilling the long-awaited prophecy. Their story is a powerful tale of destiny, sacrifice, and the struggle between mortal and divine powers. To the Dunmer, the Nerevarine is a cultural hero, a symbol of hope and renewal. Their legend lives on in books and stories across Tamriel, shaping the history and faith of the Dunmer people. Hero of Kvatch. In The Elder Scrolls IV, Oblivion, the hero of Kvatch begins as an ordinary citizen of Cyrodiil, whose life is forever changed when the city of Kvatch is attacked and destroyed by Daedra during the devastating Oblivion crisis. As Oblivion gates open across the Empire, monstrous forces pour into Tamriel, threatening to bring ruin to all. Amidst the chaos, the hero rescues Martin Septim, the last surviving heir to the throne, from a deadly Daedric assault. This sets the stage for a desperate quest to restore the Empire's stability. Central to this mission is recovering the lost Amulet of Kings, a powerful artifact that sustains the dragonfires, magical flames that keep the gates to Oblivion closed. The hero reunites the fragmented blades, the Emperor's ancient protectors, and aids Martin Septim in claiming his rightful place as Emperor. In the epic final confrontation, Martin uses the amulet's power to transform into an avatar of the god Akatosh. Together, they banish Mehrunes Dagon and his Daedric legions, ending the Oblivion crisis. After being involved with the Grey March event in the Shivering Isles, he took on the mantle of Sheogorath, becoming the Daedric Prince of Madness, Last Dragonborn. The Last Dragonborn, also known as Dovahkiin, is a unique mortal born with the soul and power of a dragon. This rare gift allows them to absorb the souls of slain dragons and wield powerful shouts known as the Thu'um, magical abilities spoken in the ancient dragon language. In The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, the player takes on the role of the Last Dragonborn amid a world torn by civil war and threatened by the return of Alduin, the legendary World Eater. Alduin is a dragon prophesied to bring about the end of the world, and it's the Dragonborn's destiny to stop him. As they journey across Skyrim, the Dragonborn learns to master their shouts, explores ancient Nordic ruins, and uncovers lost dragon knowledge. Along the way, they engage with various factions, from the Honorable Companions and secretive Dark Brotherhood to the scholarly College of Winterhold. The Dragonborn's quest culminates in a final confrontation with Alduin, where they harness their unique powers to save Tamriel from destruction. After the event, the Dragonborn reportedly married and adopted children, creating a family and building a home to settle down in. Cyrus the Redguard. Cyrus is a Redguard mercenary and the hero of the game, The Elder Scrolls Adventures Redguard. Born in Hammerfell, he travels to the island of Stros Makai in search of his missing sister, Isra, only to uncover a rebellion against the newly established Septim Empire. Set during the Second Era, the story unfolds in the aftermath of Tiber Septim's conquest of Hammerfell. Cyrus finds himself in the middle of political unrest, facing off against the Imperial Governor, Lord Richten, and reigniting the fires of resistance. A master swordsman and skilled sailor, Cyrus is sharp-tongued, fiercely independent, and driven by loyalty to his family and homeland. His journey reveals the complexities of Redguard culture and the cost of imperialism. Though Redguard is a standalone game, Cyrus' story is canon, his legend preserved in in-game books and whispered among Redguard heroes. His tale stands as a rare glimpse into Yokudan heritage and one man's stand against tyranny. The Forgotten Hero. The Forgotten Hero is the protagonist of the Elder Scrolls Legends, Bethesda's digital card game set in the Elder Scrolls universe. While their exact race, gender, and background are left up to the player, the Forgotten Hero plays a central role in shaping the fate of Tamriel during a time of political chaos and Daedric interference. The story begins with the Forgotten Hero becoming entangled in a conspiracy involving the Imperial cultists of Mehrunes Dagon, a dangerous plot that threatens the stability of the Empire. The hero helps Tyr, a former Imperial soldier, and Nog, a Khajiit rebel, in their fight against the cult known as the Order of the Black Worm and the resurgence of dark Daedric forces. Throughout the main campaign and expansions, the Forgotten Hero battles across Tamriel, journeying through Cyrodiil, Skyrim, the Shivering Isles, and even into Oblivion, facing enemies like Lord Nerevarine, Nocturnal, and Mehrunes Dagon himself. The hero's actions prevent the return of the Plane Meld, halt Daedric invasions, and even foil the schemes of divine and demonic forces alike. Fugitive. In The Elder Scrolls Blades, the Fugitive is the player's character, a once-renowned member of the Blades, the Empire's elite order of spies and protectors. After being betrayed and hunted by enemies within the Empire, the Fugitive is forced into exile, stripped of rank and honor. Returning to their shattered hometown, the Fugitive's goal is to rebuild what was lost and reclaim their place as a guardian of Tamriel. Throughout the game, the Fugitive navigates a world torn apart by war and chaos, battling bandits, monsters, and sinister forces threatening the Empire's stability. They gather allies, restore their home city, and uncover conspiracies that endanger the realm. The Apprentice. The Apprentice, known as Jazian Kaid or Vatasha Trinell, depending on the player's choice, is the hero of an Elder Scrolls legend, Battlespire. The Apprentice was selected as one of the pupils to train at the Battlespire, the Imperial Battle Mage training citadel. On the day of their induction, expecting a test of magical skill, the Apprentice stepped through the Weir Gate only to find the Battlespire overrun by a Daedric invasion led by Mehrunes Dagon. Nearly everyone had been slain, and the Apprentice's partner, chosen to be the opposite sex of the player, was held captive by Dagon himself. Determined, the Apprentice journeyed through the perilous realms of Oblivion, battling Daedra and overcoming deadly challenges to reach the Prince of Destruction. In a climactic confrontation, the Apprentice defeated Mehrunes Dagon and rescued their partner. They then escaped back to Tamriel. Though the fate of the Battlespire remained sealed, its Weir Gate forever closed. Soul of Conflict. In The Elder Scrolls Shadowkeep, the player is called the Soul of Conflict, also known as the hero of Azra's Crossing. The journey begins when the player's hometown is attacked by bandits, but the player fights them off and saves the villagers. This act of courage leads the hero to uncover a darker threat. Mehrunes Dagon's agent, Jagar Tharn, is seeking to create a powerful shadow entity, the Umbra Keth, the Shadow of Conflict. Guided by the shadow mage Skelos Undriel, the hero embarks on a quest to stop it. To do so, he must recover the 7 Star Teeth, ancient crystals with the power to dispel shadow magic. Along the way, the player battles Daedra, rival mages like Pergan Asul, and uncover the fate of Azra Nightwielder, the first Shadow Mage, who has forgotten his identity. The player ventures through twisted lands and deadly caverns, confronting the horrors of war and magic. In the Crypt of Hearts, the player finally faces the Umbra Keth. Using the power of the Star Teeth, he weakened and destroyed it, ending the threat. Azra returns the player home and names him a true hero. Though his fate after the battle remains a mystery, the world will remember him as the soul of conflict, the one who faced the shadow and triumphed. Master Tunnel Rat. In The Elder Scrolls Travels Stormhold, the player takes on the role of the Master Tunnel Rat, a prisoner sent to the Stormhold prison for reasons unknown. Forced into the dangerous task of clearing the corrupted tunnels beneath the prison, the Master Tunnel Rat worked alongside fellow inmates, searching for fragments of the mysterious Stormhold crystal. Early in their journey, the Tunnel Rat encountered Helga, a healer and prisoner who offered aid in exchange for the crystals found throughout the tunnels. Meanwhile, the prison's deranged overseer, Warden Quintus Varus, began to take an unsettling interest in the Tunnel Rat's progress. He offered backhanded praise and promised to overlook any crystal theft, so long as they didn't get too ambitious. Eventually, Helga warned the Tunnel Rat that Varus had discovered the crystal's location and was descending into madness. Deep within the prison's heart, in a place called Varus's Victory, the Tunnel Rat confronted the Warden. After a fierce battle, Varus was killed. With the Warden defeated, the remaining sane prisoners escaped, and the Master Tunnel Rat used the Stormhold crystal to absorb the corruption left behind, ending the horrors beneath Stormhold once and for all. The Vestige. The Vestige is the player character and central protagonist of The Elder Scrolls Online. Their story begins with a dramatic twist of fate. They are sacrificed in a Daedric ritual by Mannimarco, the King of Worms, as part of a dark pact with Molag Bal, the Daedric Prince of Domination. This ritual rips the Vestige's soul from their body, trapping them in Cold Harbor, Molag Bal's nightmarish realm. Despite being soulless, the Vestige escapes with the help of the mysterious prophet and joins the fight to stop Molag Bal's plane meld, a plot to merge Cold Harbor with Nirn. Over time, the Vestige becomes a hero of legend, working alongside powerful allies like Lyris Titanborn, Sai Sahan, and Abner Tharn. The Vestige's journey spans the entire continent of Tamriel during the chaotic period known as the Interregnum, a time without a central emperor. Depending on the player's faction, Aldmeri Dominion, Daggerfall Covenant, or Ebonheart Pact, the Vestige may also take part in the Three Banners War, a struggle for control of the Ruby Throne in Cyrodiil. Ultimately, the Vestige defeats Molag Bal, regains their soul, and continues their adventures across Tamriel, facing other threats like dragons, vampires, and Daedric schemes. While the Vestige's identity varies by player, their legacy is one of resilience, mystery, and heroism in one of Tamriel's darkest eras.